I'm recording this video on my way to work this morning because I don't think it's my face that you need to see. I think it's you need to hear what I have to say. I want to share one of my darkest moments, what I consider to be one of my darkest moments in my life. Not about anybody in passing or any deaths or parents or stuff like that, but just about on pursuing my goals. A lot of you guys know that I played or went to the Indianapolis Colts, got my shot in the professional leagues. But a lot of you don't know the story, the complete story. Yes, it's true I put on an Indianapolis Colts hat, but here's the story to it. I was in rookie camp and 2 days out from being done with the 2-week rookie camp with the Colts, and I was at the end of practice and I felt something pop in my back as I was cooling down after a complete day of working out. And I knew I had done something, but my body was warm, so I kept moving. I went back to the hotel that night and laid down. My back started hurting a little bit worse. I went to sleep, skipped dinner. I just wanted to be healthy for the last day of camp. That morning when I woke up, the only thing I could do is lift my head up off the pillow. My back was in so much pain that I could hardly get up. Somehow I managed to get up onto my feet, get dressed, and get back to practice. At that point, I could not practice. They took me to the emergency room, had me checked out, and I'd thrown my back out. Thrown it out so bad, it was the worst one I had ever had up until that point. But I had only missed one day of practice, so they sent me home. And I had 2 weeks to get healthy. I had 3 weeks to get healthy. And for 2 of those weeks, I laid on the floor on my back on my living room floor. And my wife, which was my girlfriend at the time, could attest to that, not being able to move. Somehow in 3 weeks, I worked my way back up to moving around and getting ready. I just mentally was trying to get myself back and ready to go back to camp. So I go back to camp and I fail every test possible to be able to practice. 2 nights into this thing, I'm sitting down in my room thinking it's over. I'm done. I can't compete. I'm not going to have an opportunity. So I quit that night and I went home. I had a friend come and get me from Chicago, and it was the darkest drive, the darkest moment in my life that I had quit. I didn't fail in my mind, I had quit. I was done playing something that I had pursued passionately in college and high school and worked so hard for. I was done, it was over, I couldn't do it anymore. Well, within about 2 months, my back had returned back to normal, and my journey started again. I didn't know it, but it just started again. I heard a voice in my head saying it wasn't over, it wasn't time, it wasn't over. So I began to train harder and work harder. I got my shot, and I started my process through the Arena Football Leagues, which some of you know that story. Some of you know that I made it all the way back and got another tryout with the Chicago Bears about 4 years later. Anyway, my point of telling you the story is it took me a long time to realize that I didn't quit. I failed. My body failed, my mind failed, I failed, but I didn't quit. But because I was so passionate about what I was doing and trying to achieve, that I got back up on my feet and I kept going. And that's my message to you. You've got to find out what you're passionate about. You got to know that did you fail or did you quit? If there's always another opportunity to get up and go again, you didn't quit, you just failed, so you got to get up and go again. But you've got to be passionate enough about what you're doing to get up and go again. You've got to have a goal, you've got to have everything set, you got to know what you want, and you got to get after it. And you got to say, no matter what, I will not quit. I will not fail. And you got to get up and go and go and go. Whether you're on a diet, whether you're trying to get a new job, whether you're pursuing after something, you've just got to do it. That is my message to you from my heart. There's more stories to come. TGIA, everybody. Now you know why you don't need to see my face. Happy Monday.